Let's go, let's go. Come on, come on.
Seen every single game that they played other than the game against Manchester City last week. I can't put it down to one similar thing, but when you're not winning games in a team like Chelsea with the players that they've got, then you would have to put it down to an accumulation of things. They're obviously going to be looking to stop the rot this evening. We're going to be really trying to come and win at a ground where we found it particularly difficult. As you say, both teams are coming off the back of some results that they could well have done without, but it's going to be critical with games running out who wins this for the fight for a Champions League place.
Exactly that, because Chelsea are off the back of a 3-0 defeat to City. Third consecutive Premier League defeat in a row. It's going to be a bitter taste that's in their mouths right now, but obviously it was a disappointing result for us against Leeds. So when you think about that, how do you think the mentality is going to be in both squads? Because we know for Manchester United how hungry we'll be.
Yeah, I don't think the mentality is going to be a problem. I think the result against Leeds was probably down to the fact that at this stage of the season nobody really wants to be having a 3 and a bit week break when you're trying to find some momentum going into it. And I don't think there's any question that we got caught out a little bit by that, and the fact that Leeds started so well, and the fact that they had already had that 120 minutes in the week before, and they were just that little bit ahead of us. We actually played a lot better in the second half, so I don't think the mentality is a problem. What will be a problem is having to deal with some of the players that Chelsea have got tonight, the same as they will have to with us. The likes of Cole Palmer, Neto, João Pedro, they're all capable of turning a game on its head and winning them. What I was really surprised at is that the fact that United have found this a tough ground to come to, it doesn't seem like a lot of other teams have. They haven't won here in the league since the 31st of January. And when you think that they're still well in contention of getting a Champions League place, if they'd have turned that round, they could be a lot further up the table. But we need to make sure that that doesn't happen this evening.
Yeah, we do, because we know, you mentioned some players there, and we'll definitely talk in depth when we find out the team news a little bit later on. But I mean, some players, for instance, Cole Palmer just said, he's not scored in open play since mid-December for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You're looking at these things and they are going to fall into place at some point for Chelsea, but you don't want that to happen this evening.
No, of course you don't. They have got too many good players for them to, to not be able to turn out results, and that was really sort of harrowing for me, that they've not won since January here in the league. But then they do have players like Cole Palmer. He was an absolute revelation when they brought him in last season. He single-handedly won games for them. It's not been quite as prolific for him this time round, but we still know the quality and qualities, I should say, that he possesses, along with the likes of Pedro Neto and João Pedro playing up front. And then you've got, will he bring Enzo Fernandez back in, who is somebody else that, adds to that attack? He has a lot of shots in matches. But for some reason, they can't find the consistency, especially here, to be winning games. And we need to start really well. Not going to be easy. Crowd will be up. They'll be baying for blood, because they won't want to see their team go to another consecutive defeat here. But if we can start well, I think we will go and win the game.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed then. So all of you watching on YouTube as well, let us know in the comments which player you are looking forward to seeing play for Manchester United tonight, because we're about to hear the team news from Liam.
Yeah, thank you, Zara. Thank you, Ben. And there are some changes for Manchester United due to injury and suspension. So Aidan Heaven comes into the starting lineup to replace Lenny Yoro. Find out from Michael Carrick in a little while why that change has happened. Lisandro Martinez misses out through suspension, replaced in the lineup by Diogo Dalot. Kobbie Mainoo's recovered to take his place ahead of Manu Ugarte. And Ahmad makes way to be replaced by Manchester United's top scorer, Bryan Mbeumo. Team in full, Lamens in goal. We think this is the back four: Dalot, Shaw, Heaven and Mazraoui. That could switch around with Dalot at right back, Shaw at left back and the other two as the centre halves. We will wait and see once kick-off happens. Mainoo rejoining Casemiro in the heart of midfield. Casemiro in fine form for Manchester United, being found plenty of times by the captain Bruno Fernandes over the course of this season. 17 assists for the Manchester United skipper. He would love to add to that tally this evening. Cunha on the left and Mbeumo on the right, and Benjamin Šeško leading the line. One interesting note on the substitutes bench: Jim Thwaites, fresh off an under-18s FA Youth Cup win last night for Manchester United, is on the bench at Stamford Bridge. In terms of Chelsea, couple of changes for them, and the headline news is no João Pedro. He felt his thigh, according to Liam Rosenior in his interview with the broadcasters, so he doesn't start, instead replaced in the lineup by Liam Delap. He will run in behind rather than receiving the ball to feet like João Pedro, so be interesting to see just how that happens. The other big piece of news: the engine room is back for the Blues. Enzo Fernandez back into the starting lineup. You've just heard Ben mention him, and he does come straight back into the 11. Sanchez in goal, Cucurella, Hato, Fofana and Gusto, Caicedo and Fernandes, Neto, Palmer and Esteval behind Delap. And there is one place on the bench for Alejandro Garnacho, formerly of this Manchester United parish. Would be brilliant if Manchester United could pick up 3 points today, but no fixture in Premier League history has been drawn more than this one. We will wait and see what happens. We're underway at 8 o'clock. Let's get you to the studio. Mark Sullivan is with Quinton Fortune and Danny Simpson.
Great stuff, Liam. Thanks very much. Yes, welcome to the studio here at Old Trafford, where former Reds Danny Simpson and Quinton Fortune will be casting their expert eyes over proceedings tonight. Now, we've got that team news in from Liam. Quinny, all the questions coming into the game were about how the defence might shape up without the suspended Leacher, Harry, injuries long-term to De Ligt, and now Lenny Yoro's picked up a knock. So how crucial an area the team is at tonight?
It's a big one. It's almost like adversity. Everything is being thrown at you. Suddenly it's like, what does Michael Carrick do now? But he's still got enough quality in the team. When you look at Mazraoui coming in, can he play centre back? I'm sure he can. Luke, can Luke play in that position? He's played in the back with the back five in the three. It shouldn't be a problem, but the only problem we'll face, the difficulty we face, is that they've never played together. They've never been put in this position. But look, it's one of those things. You have to be professional, do as best you can, get the ball forward as quick as possible, which we play anyway. And in the attacking threat, we've got enough to win the game. But we're going to have to be unbelievable, compact communication, all the things that you know that they're supposed to be doing. Communication is key. You got to speak to Casemiro and Kobbie in front of you. Whoever plays on the fullbacks, Delap or Shaw, they got to tuck in. They got to work together. That's so important.
You played fullback, Simo. So we've got three fullbacks in our defence. One of those fullbacks will be one of the centre halves. What's that transition like from the wider areas into the centre?
I think the natural person would be Mazraoui. I think he's defensively he's better, whereas Dalot's more of an attacking fullback.
Yeah, of the three fullbacks, Dalot's the least likely to perform at centre half.
Yeah, and as Quinton said, Luke's played in a back three, left of a three. So it would make more sense that Mazraoui will come in with Aidan, Luke on the left, obviously Dalot on the right. But I think the key today will be the two centre mids in front of him. Obviously Kobbie's back now, to maybe protect them a little bit, just to, especially at the start of the game, till they find their feet and just settle into the game. So I think that part of the pitch, the four there in the middle, will be really key. And as Quinton says, the fullbacks maybe have to be a bit tighter and a bit narrower to protect them.
It'd be really interesting to see how they do start the game and which of the three fullbacks lines up alongside young Aidan Heaven, who now has a lot of responsibility despite his tender years, doesn't he? He had a great run in the team earlier in the season.
Yeah.
He's looked the real deal, but this is his first start under Michael Carrick, so it's a massive opportunity for him.
He's been there before, he knows what it takes to play for United. And as you mentioned, he's still a young player, so you have to be patient. But I'm sure he's been working with Michael over the last couple of weeks. They do extra sessions after training, positioning, defensive headers, all that stuff. And now he's put into practice. He's been obviously in the right mindset, he's working for his opportunity. And what opportunity to get tonight against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I mean, you couldn't ask for better than it. So he's got to just play his game. It's easy said than done. I'm sure there's nerves, but he's got enough experience around him. As someone just mentioned there, he's got Casemiro there, he's got Kobe in front of him. Try to speak to them as much as possible. So they need to be disciplined. Oh my goodness, so important. Discipline, and he needs Luke to speak to him all the time. And just give information, and because he's a young player, so many things are happening in your mind. You just want to do well. He's so eager. He just needs that calmness and go play his game.
There was some talk, Simo, of maybe Casemiro dropping back into centre half